Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. Our today's lecture is on the topic nutrition for the older people. So beginning with the introduction first. As we know, the number of older people, that is the greater than 65 years, is increasing and has doubled over the last 70 years. So the life expectancy is increasing steadily. Men who are age 65 can expect to live to the age of 81, while women can expect to live to the age of 84 during the 2003 decades, and this is projected to increase further. So, the vast majority of the old people live in the community either with their family or in their own homes, but around 5% live in nursing and residential care homes. Although this increases to over 26% of those who are aged greater than 85 years. So the aging process involves a range of physiological and biological changes that vary between the individuals, means every individual body respond to their health according to their body only. So they may vary in their physiological properties and biological properties. These influences also the digestive capacity. Sometimes it decreases their taste and nasal sensitivity, and also decreases their LBM. Along with that, increases the relative proportion of adipose tissue, and subsequently decreases the BMR. So these all are the symptoms are responsible, and all total depends upon what the older peoples are eating and how the nutritions are taken by them, in which quantity and what type of nutrition is given to them. That is responsible for their growth in older time at the older age, that is those who are greater than 85 years or above 75 years old. So older people are not a homogeneous group. Means all the older people are not the same as comparing on the basis of their body or the capacity of the body and the functioning of the organs of the body. So they cannot be grouped. We cannot group them in a homogeneous group, and the majority are adequately nourished and meet the RNI for most vitamins and minerals. However, those living in institutions and in lower socioeconomic groups tend to have lower intake of energy in proteins. They may tend to take lower amount of fibers and some vitamins and minerals. So households and institutionalized older people have poorer vitamin D status, which is needed for the uh, absorption of calcium and for bone health. So at the older age, all the people requires vitamin D because it is responsible for the absorption of the calcium and is responsible for many more metabolic activities and functioning that is happening in our body. And in sometimes in some older people, that is those who are greater than 85 years old, the B vitamin status is poorer, particularly for folic acid absorption. And this traditional diet is common, especially amongst the older people in institutions, that is, and the most commonly consumed foods are the potatoes, white bread, biscuits, and tea. So these are the categories of older people who are at risk of malnutrition, and some of these depends on whether the individual is fit or they are frail. So it totally depends on the particular individual's older body, that it is capable of obtaining the nutrition or not, or if the proper nutrition is given to them in proper amount or not. And what happens sometimes, we give the nutritions to the older people, but in some way we lack some of the vitamins in their diet, which are most importantly required by their body. So sometimes it happens, and it totally depends on the particular individual body and their functions, about what are the nutrition that are having their influence on their body. So it depends on their older people what are eating, and the nutrition intake and nutrition absorption in their particular body. Next is the dietary recommendation for the older people. So, as I told in the previous slide, that vitamin D is most important thing because it helps in the absorption of calcium. And in older people, what happens, the calcium and the bones porosity with the age increases. The bones are get weaker and weaker. That is why the calcium absorption is more important, and for that, for calcium activation, vitamin D is also important. So vitamin D is the only nutrient where dietary requirement increases, because some older people will have less exposure to sun, and therefore their vitamin D requirement will not necessarily be met by the sunlight alone. So along with this sunlight, they are likely to give the vitamin D source in their nutrition also. So in adulthood, the requirement falls for the calcium, phosphorus, niacin, thiamine, and iron, but requirement for copper and selenium increases in adult male. Generally, if fresh fruit and vegetable consumption is difficult due to preparation or eating difficulties, the juices and frozen and canned produces should be encouraged, as the nutrient value is just as rich. So what happens sometimes, in the there is a problem that the older people could not able to consume the proper amount of fruit and vegetables, or if they're finding some difficulties in eating them in direct source, because what happens sometimes, the teeth are not available in the older people, so they find it difficulty in chewing the fruits and in consuming the proper natural fruits. So in that regard, we can give them the proper juice or the canned produces, or the concentrated juice that are easily available in the market. That is also the in that juices also the nutrients is up to that mark only, so it could be encouraged at that time. Generally, healthy eating guides such as applies to well older people, as it a balanced nutrient rich diet to meet the requirement. And in addition to a balanced diet, such based on the balance of good health, older people who are household will need to eat foods that are rich in vitamin D and milk, and they are encouraged to eat the eggs and fortified margarines, oily fishes, and etc. So older people who are frail are at higher risk of malnutrition. So the aspect of healthy eating guidelines related to the reducing consumption of the energy dense food and in are inappropriate. In practical, if we talk about in practical terms, this means that full fat milk and margarines will be preferable, and sugar in the diet may provide a useful calories, and that may help where the taste sensitivity sometimes decreases in the older people. In that regard, sweet foods need to be a part of nutrient-rich diet, and it is ideally eaten with the meals. So these are the dietary recommendation for the older people, means what are the type of nutrition we should give to the older people. The nutrition should be rich in vitamin D, and there should be a balanced diet should be given to the patient, or sorry, to the older people. The idea for encouraging to take up the fruits and vegetable either in that are available in the market, or if they could be able to eat the proper natural fruits. And also some guidelines are also available how to treat uh, if they are going through the malnutrition problem, then what types of guidelines, what some dietary foods should be rich in sweets and sweet foods should be encouraged in their diet. Next is undernutrition in older people, means why there are some categories of older people who are at risk of malnutrition, means why they go for undernutrition. What is the main reason for undernutrition in in older people? So here is the first point is people with difficulty eating. This is the third time I'm repeating this word, people with difficulty eating. For example, they have poor dentition, means some of the older people do not have the teeth. So due to the poor dentition, or some or sore mouth, masticating, or swallowing disorder, and sensory loss disorder of the upper limb, difficulty in manipulating cutleries, could be from arthritis. So these are the problems which generally older people face in when they chew the food or when they take up the food material, and that is why they find it difficulty in eating that. Next is people who depends on others, means for example living in institutions, mean and such as in hospitals or nursing or residential care home. So depending on other to shop of for food, and around half and of older people rely on someone else to do some of their food shopping, or they depend on others that someone else will cook the food for them, and they depend totally on them. When they will cook, they will get the time, they will get the food to eat. Next is the older age group, means the older age group that is greater than those who are older people, those who are greater than above 75 years old, do not have the uh, do not want to eat the food material, or don't like to eat food, or cannot able to digest the food. So it is that problem, older age groups. Next is lower socio-economic groups. There is an evidence that intake of range of nutrients are less in older, lower socioeconomic groups, especially the magnesium and potassium in women. The access to shop may be worse. That is why they face the problem. Next point is people with illness related to the malnutrition. For example, the malignancy, the Parkinson's disease, the pressure sore increases the requirement. So these are the problems that due to the illness or some sort of some if they are suffering from any sort of diseases, then also they face the same problem of undernutrition. They do not want to eat at that time. Next is people in a vulnerable psychosocial situations. For example, there are loneliness is the main example for this, and depression, dementia, bereavement, which leads to the decrease in appetite. So these are the psychosocial situations where if some older peoples have this problem, then also they face the same situation of undernutrition. Second last is people with physical difficulty in preparing food, means for example painful or frail hands, from arthritis or reduced muscle strength could lead to decreased intake of fresh fruits and vegetables. So these are the diseases that harms physically, that harms the older people, and that is why they find it difficult while preparing the food and sometimes eating also. People on certain medication is the last option, means affecting the by this they affecting their appetite, taste, that gastrointestinal tract. However, in most cases the cause of undernutrition are multifactorial, but an awareness of some specific contributory factors is a valuable first step in prevention under this topic of undernutrition in older people. Is the consequences of malnutrition in older people. As we know, the effect of undernutrition vary from subclinical with no apparent clinical impairment to death and are dependent on the type, length, and degree of nutritional inadequacy and the nutritional and health status of the individual. So, with that, in addition to a significant increased risk of mortality, undernutrition is associated with greater morbidity, that is, weight loss, that is predominantly fat and muscles. For example, poorer mobility increases risk of fall and increased risk of chest infection. Next is the reduced immune function, for example, increased rate of infection, impaired synthesis of new protein, for example, poor wound healing, prolonged recovery from illness and hospital stays, and last is the psychological problem, that is your depression, anorexia, decrease the motivation, and these are the sort of problems which comes due to the malnutrition in older people. Next is the treatment of malnutrition. Once the older people are suffer from malnutrition, then how it could be treated. So there is a good evidence that nutritional support in older people can increase the energy as well as increase the protein intake and decreases the weight loss and increases the functional outcome such as your muscles strength, walking distance, activity levels, mental health, and clinical outcomes also improved, that is your mortality rate decreases and complications also decreases in hospital and community settings. So treatment option may include, first is the improvement of food access, for example arranging the support through appropriate carers, for example the shopping, the cooking company, plus eating. So if these things could be made easily available to the older people, it may improve their food access. They can get the food at ease. Next is the supplementation of food and drink using the ordinary food items. For example, the increasing energy or protein density of meals by fortifying it. For example, adding the butter and grated cheese to the mashed potato. So mixing these things or fortifying the proper ingredients will increase the supplementation of the food and also increases the nutrition that are given that we are giving to the older people. Last one is the supplementation using the proprietary products. For example, some are available on prescription or over the counter, for example milk or juice based drinks, soups and desserts. Okay, here are some other nutritional problems in older people, means along with that malnutrition there except that malnutrition there are some certain other problems that the older people generally faces. First is the constipation problem. Constipation is relatively common in older people because fiber and fluid intake need to be accessed and increased consumption should be encouraged so that the problem of constipation could not occur in that. Next is your iron deficiency anemia. So around 10% of the older people were found to be anemic in the population survey, and maybe due to the poor intake or decrease in absorption from gastrointestinal disorder or blood loss that increases the iron rich food and vitamin C consumption. Third one is your osteoporosis. Osteoporosis and the subsequent fractures are an important cause of morbidity and mortality in older people. Calcium and vitamin D intake, along with the sunlight exposure, are important and means of maintaining bone health in older people. It is recommended that regular sunlight exposure during the May to September and vitamin D supplement during the winter month if houseborn being under the underweight can influence the risk of osteoporosis. Fourth is the problem of dehydration. The risk of dehydration is more common in older people, especially those depends on other or where there is a mental impairment or daily intake of some 15,000 to 2,000 ml is recommended, around 6 to 8 marks. There is a problem of dementia and arthritis also arises during this uh, older age, where the bones and could not work properly in your older people, and people some face problems. Now next is the community support strategy. Here how the community helps in upgrading the nutrition for the older people. The first is possible strategies included. Here is the community shopping facility or home delivery for serving isolated shoppers, usually the grocery produce. Next is your community cafes, where older people can eat a cheap meal in a sociable setting, for example, at a pensioners club or community centers. Third one is community transport. Community transport is available to help bring older people that are isolated from shops nearer to them and could be run by a local supermarket or local authority funded. Fourth one is cooking club. Practical group cooking sessions to improve food skills, working with a health professional. Members of the group will cook and taste different recipes. Fifth one is your box schemes. Here the customers receive a weekly box of fresh fruit and vegetable from the farmer that is distributed to a central place in a community, and a group of people have to buy food regularly. Prices are more affordable as bought directly from the farmer. Sixth one is your lunch club and meals on wheel. That means it provides hot meals for older and disabled people, maybe run by the local authority or voluntary organization in local areas. The average meal over the 1 to 2 weeks should be provided greater than 33% of RNI. Except that energy, folate, vitamin C, calcium, and iron should be higher in that. Last one is your grow your own. For example, growing foods in allotment and back gardens could be helpful in uh, for generating the nutrition for the older people. Thank you for being with us. For more information, please log on to our website www.idealisacademy.com and register yourself. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and yes, do not forget to subscribe our channel ITLS Academy at YouTube. Thank you.